Emulation versus real hardware. I'm not really trying to compare, but there is one thing, well, maybe two things that made me side on one. First is price, second is availability. And maybe availability might not be an issue no more. And what I'm talking about is the Analog Pocket. Yo, that handheld was never in stock. I seriously had bad luck. But at this point, the hype for me is I kind of lost it. And it only plays physical games of a couple of handhelds, and I know it looks good. And I also know that there are adapters, and I'm not going to go through all that. No way, shape, or form I'm talking bad about it. It's definitely impressive judging from the specs. But to combat my newer physical Game Boy fix, I'm good with my FPGA wifey enjoyed putting together for me, and I'm really happy with it. And we also did a video about this. So where I'm going? Well, when it comes to certain form factor of the color and almost the size of the Analog Pocket, when I saw the Anbernic RG40xxV, it might have the same chipset as the others, but until I make a decision to get an Analog Pocket, well, I guess this will be a sweet, fun, and with adding all types of other consoles, including an analog control on it. Inexpensive substitution for me. Okay, let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button. Click like, subscribing. It's always a big help. Okay, let me stop for a second. Analog Pocket owners, Analog Pocket fans, I am not trying to verse this thing against the Analog Pocket. I am not trying to. I'm quite sure that the Analog Pocket got way more, far better technology up inside of it than this. Number two, I understand that plays like the Game Boy Advance, real cartridges. Look, if I'm gonna play Game Boy Advance, I'm gonna play it like this. Boom, I'm gonna play it just like this. I have my original Game Boy. I'm good. I'm just like, this is just a feel for me, and I said it feels like it, and I never own one, so I guess for right now this is gonna be the closest I'm gonna get for right now. That's just me. So let me get back to this. Okay, we should know where we stand at on this device. Plenty of reviews, links to pick up one. We'll have the specs in the description. If you have the RG35xxH, RG35XX, RG35XXSP, RG40xxH, I think there's probably a few more. You're pretty much in a good on the information. I even dived into bezels and shaders, which that was a new discovery for me. And I want to get more practice on it. So I'm definitely going to be doing like a future video with other stuff. I'll tell you about that later. If you've been seeing the recent track record of my handhelds, some of my handhelds, I put certain classic consoles or classic handhelds on them. I know you could say that I'm not taking advantage of the full potential of the device. My biggest reason why I do this because it gives me a reason to pick up that particular device. Now, I'm not gonna lie. It's really, this particular one is giving me that TurboGrafx 16, PC Engine, TG16 CD, PC Engine CD, just a NEC bonanza, yo. That's just where I want to go with this one. So I'm pretty much is like, okay, so off the back, what you see, I'm just looking at the stock, everything's stock. I'm looking at it because most of the devices pretty much has like this stock setup on here, so you could pretty much get down on here and play the games that's already installed on here. I'm gonna, on the next video, I'm gonna be able to change out this SD card. I'm gonna have two of them. One is just gonna have the setup on here, and the other one is going to have all my games. And just like I said, I'm really gonna dive into like messing around with taking time out and just putting like, I'm just gonna go PC Engine crazy because that's a console I do love. I am a big fan of, and I really didn't dedicate a device for that. Okay, I might just add a couple more consoles on it. Okay, I might slip a little bit of Sega Genesis up in there, or maybe like a Sega CD or something like that. I might do something like that. Now 32X, I do like. I do like 32X. Okay, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I was never a big fan, and I always and I said this before a long time ago. I'm not a big fan of Nintendo 64. I was not too much of a big fan of it. There was a few games that I did love, but you notice I really don't play Nintendo 64 that much because I came from the NES era and the Super Nintendo era, or those are the bigger eras that era I came from, to where that I was playing those games. So when it comes down to stuff like this, and I do love like the Game Boy era, especially the SP, the classic Game Boy, of course, the Game Boy Color. I love that one. And then there was the Neo Geo Pocket. That was one of my favorite consoles. Ironically, that was a console that I really enjoyed. I love the Advance. That was a classic console too. But I did love that Neo Geo Pocket. That little console was like packing some heat for real. So I enjoyed myself up on those type of, so seeing something like this, to be able to have like the bezels nice, and I see the little logo on the side, and it's just so cool to play some of these classic games up on here. So this is all and I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no Pokemon on here. There was no Pokemon. I couldn't find a Pokemon up on here. Also, of course, that that there's probably no Mario up on here. So in order for you to get those Mario games, you gotta dump your own games, and also, or you gotta figure out how to get your own games. You know what I mean? So if you made it this far with these type of videos, obviously you should already have access to where you should be able to get Mario games, stuff like that. There's plenty of ways to finding that stuff. You just got to take your time and search for it. I'm quite sure you'll be able to find it if you just take your time and search for the good stuff. With this console right here, if it's got everything that's complete up on it, and also, if you already know, you can plug up your headsets, your headphones, or you can plug it up to a screen. And that's going to be on the next video that I'm going to be making, because that's when I'm going to really dive into changing some stuff out and, just making it fun, because the feel of this particular handheld, it feels really, really good. It feels super solid. Seriously, it's got to me, I feel it's got a little bit of weight on it. So that it's like, it feels premium. The material on it feels really, really good. And that little analog, I probably won't even use the analog that much, but just knowing that the fact is that it's there, that's what's worth it. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's what's worth it. So if you notice, I really just enjoyed myself just unboxing this thing and just peeping it out, because I wanted to keep this one simple. Just like what I'm gonna do on the next one, that's when I'm gonna dive into it. I want to just kind of really talk to you about the reason why I use like some of these I take like some of these consoles and maybe put like a couple of classic devices on them, but that's the reason why I come back, so I can come back to them, so I can be able to enjoy those things. It gives me a chance to use each of my devices and use them equally and have fun enjoying them. So with this, I just want to be able to play some really classic, and there's some really hardcore games that was on a PC Engine or TurboGrafx 16. So I'm a big fan. If you're a big fan, I hope you guys are a big fan of that classic console. So, and with that being said, I'm gonna be out, you guys. All right, you guys. If you made it this far, I truly, truly appreciate it. Okay. All right, you guys. And from Gamer to Gamer, thanks for watching.